She said, just read it, because I was looking for movies that could be commercial and speak to the human experience.
Justin Baldoni's lawyer isn't just coming with receipts in the lawsuit against Blake Lively, as they already found a loophole that could mean Ryan Reynolds may have ruined the case for Blake with some damning details you would never see coming. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's lawsuit has made many people switch sides from one party to another in the past few months as more claims emerge. It all started when many of Blake's past videos resurfaced, showing her rudeness to colleagues or people she has worked with, and the whole internet saw her actions for what they were. With all the evidence from Blake's interviews, she was blamed for whatever drama might have happened between her and Justin because he has been known to be a non-troublesome individual. Still, when it looked like the heat may have cooled off, people switched sides immediately when Blake dropped some jaw-dropping details of what she accused Justin Baldoni of on set. The New York Times published a detailed article about how Justin hired a crisis manager to bury Blake Lively after she accused him of misconduct on the set. Then it was added that Justin paid publicists to start a smear campaign against Blake using screenshots of chats that now seem to have been misinterpreted. But even more crazy is the misconduct Blake accused Justin of on the set of It Ends With Us. As more receipts have shown things didn't happen precisely the way the New York Times reported it, it gets pretty wild because another person in the controversy, Ryan Reynolds, may have indirectly helped Justin Baldoni's case. Since the controversy started, fans have tried to connect the dots and find out every detail behind what happened with the two main cast members of It Ends With Us, and if many of the allegations are true. However, many of these accusations started on the set of It Ends With Us, which coincides with the filming of Deadpool and Wolverine. Now being one of the biggest films of 2024, Deadpool is back in the news, but not for a pleasant reason. One of the characters in the film, Nice Pool, played by Ryan himself, has been speculated to be a parody of Justin Baldoni, starting with the man bun, which is a hairstyle Justin donned for years but cut in 2023 to donate to children who have lost their hair due to medical reasons.
It's based on a beautiful, really important book, and it's about a young woman named Lily who confronts the generational cycles in her life and breaks them and ends the circle. And I hope people find it inspiring, and yet also, you know, it's a film about a heavy topic. It's about domestic violence.
But that's the least of the comparisons to Justin, as Nice Pool had some distinct comments that made it even more complex. In the film, Nice Pool commented on Lady Pool, a character played by Blake Lively, where he said, "Oh my goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too." Nice Pool saying Lady Pool just had a baby was a real-life event turned into a script because Blake had a baby in 2023, around the time Deadpool and It Ends With Us were filmed, which became a part of Blake Lively's case as she mentioned that Justin came into her trailer while she was breastfeeding and exposed. It gets even more fascinating after Deadpool scrutinizes Nice Pool for commenting on Lady Pool's body, which has been inferred to mean another case of Blake, where she revealed that Justin body-shamed her on set even though she had just had a baby. Art continued to mirror real life in the character of Nice Pool after he dropped another mind-blowing statement that parodies how Justin presents himself in real life. "I don't think you're supposed to say that. That's okay. I identify as a feminist." But it didn't stop there, because many more details that are only peculiar to the It Ends With Us controversy somehow found their way into the conversation between Deadpool and Nice Pool. Another sensitive issue from the set of It Ends With Us was the demands made by Blake, which was always to have the intimacy coordinator around because she didn't feel secure filming the spicy scenes with Justin. This demand has been proven to be a manipulative tactic to drive the narrative that Justin had no regard for the intimacy coordinator on set, because in the chat receipts and more, we discovered an intimacy coordinator was always present, and that it was Blake who showed reluctance in engaging with the services of the coordinator. But instead, Ryan found another opportunity for a joke in Deadpool. And where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator? After mentioning he is a feminist, Nice Pool took another dig at Justin by speaking about his calling. "My calling is to one day host a podcast that monetizes the women's movement." Again, what makes this so weird is that Justin co-hosts a podcast about masculinity called The Man Enough. Justin has built some of his reputation in supporting women's stories and experiences.
I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because, you know, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. Like, that's what I'm grateful for.
And you had a key part in bringing it to the big screen. How did this all come to be?
Well, in 2019, I read the book. I was sent the book by my book agent and friend at the time, and I was looking for films that could inspire, that were commercially viable, but also could really like reach in and touch somebody's heart.
Making the dig very direct. It wasn't subtle at all. As one of the writers and producers of the film, who likes to make jokes about situations around him, many people are convinced Ryan was mocking Justin in the movie. And while this may have made the case more interesting, it has also brought on complications for Blake's lawsuits, and the details are super scary. From the hairstyle to many of the statements made by Niece Poole, it was obvious that Ryan was coming for Justin, and it's a bad look for the couple as their situation moves closer to the court. Because if many of these things claimed by Blake were accurate, sensitive, and scary, why would Ryan go ahead to dilute it all and make jokes out of them? Also, people often insinuate that Ryan and Blake play themselves in their projects. And their history also shows they make jokes even with their marriage. But for a serious issue like what Justin has been accused of to have been written, spoken about, and produced without a check on how far the joke had gone is absolutely insane. However, you have yet to hear the end of it because what Ryan has been speculated to do with Nice Poole regarding Justin Baldoni could throw their entire case away after all. It was a very different scenario in reality. The body-shaming accusation stemmed from Justin asking about Blake's weight because of a scene where he had to lift her and watch out for his back issues, which have repeatedly landed him in hospitals for surgeries. And Ryan physically berated Justin for this action by asking him not to fat-shame his wife ever again. It was a severe conversation, with Justin apologizing consistently and ensuring he didn't end up in the couple's bad graces. So the question then dials down to why this situation became funny for Nice Poole to reenact, even after Ryan had heavily berated Justin for the same offense. But that wasn't going to be the last time Justin felt scolded like a child by Ryan, because it happened again in a way no one had ever rudely spoken to Justin in the past. And for Ryan to go ahead to mock many of these accusations, which may not have happened, is a very wild one that could ruin Blake's lawsuit if and whenever they get into trial. The fans may have started this speculation of Ryan taking a dig at Justin, but Justin's lawyer is prepared to fight it all out with many of the facts and claims on the ground.
I was testing for a show that ended up actually getting picked up and doing very well, and I was one of two people maybe, and then I get a call from my managers and my agent. They were both on the line, which means it's something serious.
Right.
Either you got the job or there's something wrong.
Yeah, no.
And they said, so you were the choice, but the network said that your eyebrows would be too distracting.
Oh, what?
Oh no.
And then they went like, so what can we do about your eyebrows?
And Niece Poole's inappropriate comments will be a big part of the case. The lawyer, Brian Fredman, has concluded that Niece Poole's statements are 100% about Justin, saying, "What I make of that is that if your wife is harassed, you don't make fun of Justin Baldoni. You don't make fun of the situation. You take it very seriously, you file HR complaints, you raise the issue, and you follow the legal process. What you don't do is mock the person and turn it into a joke. It's pretty obvious what's being done." With how everything played out in 2024, it's evident that there are many parallels between Deadpool and the events of It Ends With Us. Starting from their release dates, It Ends With Us was initially scheduled for release on February 9th, 2024, then was pushed back to June 24th and was eventually released on August 9th, 2024, which is close to the release date of Deadpool, which fell on July 25th, 2024. The release dates of both movies falling 2 weeks apart have been said to be a calculative effort by both husband and wife, so they could make history together as being the first couple to top box offices since Bruce Willis and Demi Moore in 1990. However, that isn't surprising because more details have emerged on how Blake took control of almost every aspect of the film by acting as the intimacy coordinator, which could be why she disregarded the professional hired for this service. She also became the costume designer and the writer, as she rewrote some scenes with her husband Ryan, who edited the rooftop scene during the strikes. Blake also took on the role of directing, editing, and sourcing music to use as the soundtrack of the film, which she has repeatedly spoken about in her interviews, and which many of her cast members have confirmed as well. So if she could do all of that to take the film from Justin, then she had the power to move the release date to match her husband's Deadpool, which is more reason why Justin continued to shrink himself amid this Hollywood power couple.
She said, just read it, because I was looking for movies that could be commercial and speak to the human experience. And
Were you reading romance novels?
And I had never read a romance novel.
Never?
And she said, just trust me, read it. So I read it, and by the end of the book, I couldn't even read the text on the page because I was crying so much. My wife was in bed next to me, and she's, I got snot coming out of my nose.
Until it was too late. It was so bad that Justin was undermined drastically on the set of It Ends With Us by both husband and wife over a movie he kickstarted and only hired Blake as the actress. When the drama became very heated on set over who takes control, Ryan also went to an extreme to make sure they got the final rights on the production by attempting to buy Justin out of the film to give Blake a chance to reprise her role for the sequel without having to clash with Justin over control. Ryan offered Justin millions to step away from It Ends With Us, with a close source to the set adding, "This is the biggest film Blake has ever made. Ryan wants to make sure she isn't replaced in the sequel, but Justin declined, so it has been a tough fight for him. And in a desperate attempt for the couple to take over, Ryan has left so many trails that have now begun to backfire. The parallels between It Ends With Us and Deadpool keep expanding with how Ryan and Blake marketed the movies together, which felt cute until it wasn't. In one of the viral promotional contents of It Ends With Us, Ryan made a funny appearance with Brandon Sklenar, and then Hugh Jackman did the same. Seeing the friends from the Deadpool universe show up for the PR of It Ends With Us with Brandon, who portrays Atlas and isn't the main love interest, whom Justin plays, was one of the indications that something horrible happened between Blake and Justin on set.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
As we saw more of the PR from It Ends With Us, it became even more apparent that the cast was separated, with Justin promoting the film by himself while the rest did theirs separately. It was also wild that many of the cast unfollowed Justin on Instagram, and it all started coming together when Justin revealed how he was treated on set, with Blake demanding that he be excluded from going on press tours with any of the cast. The disregard and disrespect for Justin and the labor he poured into making the film continued, with Blake saying she didn't want to see Justin anywhere near her during the premiere, until she was begged and later permitted him, his friends, and family to use a separate theater for the premiere and had them hiding away in the basement so as not to upset Blake. And with all of these now coming to light, and then watching Ryan make fun of Justin in his movie, it shows how far they went in making his life on and off the set of It Ends With Us miserable, which could ruin every case Blake might be building up against Justin in court.